Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time Thursday.
Here it is.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And the exciting part is that this is actually Holy Thursday, known as Maundy Thursday.
Holy Tea Time Thursday.
Holy Tea Time
Holy
Thursday.
Tea Time Thursday.
I like that.
Yeah, Maundy Thursday. That's a weird word.
Right?
Anyone really, right?
I have no idea what it was.
What is it?
What is it? There you go. Let's do it.
That's what I do too. Because nobody knows. So I feel like since we brought it up, we should say it briefly. It refers to the Latin word for commandment, which is mandatum or something like that. I don't know. But it's M-A-N-D something.
Right.
And so it's just been kind of shifted and squeezed through language to become Maundy. But the idea is it's the day that we remember Christ gave, he said, a new commandment I give you. You should try loving each other. He didn't say it like that, though. He doesn't have sarcasm.
Karen says, Monday or Thursday?
Right. I'm always like, wait, which is it?
Which
Monday,
one?
Thursday? Monday, Thursday?
Yeah, but it's M-A-U.
Yeah. It's like Honda, Hyundai.
Honda. That's a great.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
That is a great analogy.
Sonja says, welcome back, Alicia. Yay. Alicia's been a little crazy busy the past couple weeks, especially with spring break and the kids. But then last week we had an amazing.
We did.
Easter Bunny breakfast?
Yes. It was incredible.
It was far better than we led you to believe it would be at the last tea time. We had pancakes.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Let me see your mic. Let's turn that on for everyone.
Sorry,
to hear
I
you.
thought I hit it.
That's okay. So I'm going to... What happened last Saturday?
Easter Bunny breakfast.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know I had my mic still off.
Oh, man.
It was good. We had a lot of people here, lots of volunteers. The community really came through on donating things so we could do a raffle and breakfast. And we had a good turnout and great community help.
I
and
love
volunteers here.
talking to the families and just kind of, like when they bring their kids to a thing, it just kind of sets us all in this like, hey, we might not vote the same or, come from different parts of the county or whatever, but we all agree that these kids are awesome.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel that vibe in the place.
Yeah.
And so it was just so easy to talk to people, to say we do this because we believe in spreading Jesus' love. And, man,
It was pretty awesome.
it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
So, well, everyone, thank you for joining us. This is a time that we love to just check in and just see how you're doing. So please comment. Let us know how your week is going. But it's also a time that we're going to take a look into a little glimpse, a little preview into the weekend that's coming up. And it's Holy Thursday today. It's Good Friday tomorrow. We have Holy Saturday
it is.
on. And then we have Easter.
It is a big weekend.
I
It's a
know.
huge weekend.
It's
Yeah.
going to be so much fun.
So make sure that you're following us on Facebook. Make sure, I know that a graphic went out last night that really spells out the list of events and times.
Points us back to the website for more information.
Yes, so you can always go to the website as well. And or at the in the detail section, there is a link there that says wesley.updates.church. And you can click on that and it has all that information. So
Cool.
yeah, so we're going
Nice.
to take a little 30-second tea time video break, and then we will be back, and we're going to look into Sunday mornings.
Yeah. See you soon.
See you soon. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Next time we should switch seats.
Oh,
Right?
During? I feel like we always switch seats. Now I'm where I can see the camera.
Oh, that's right. You get to watch yourself on the screen.
No, I
We have
don't
a
like
screen
it.
up there so you can see. Oh, there's one over there too.
Oh, no, that one was never on before.
I know.
We keep leveling up. Leveling up. That's what life in Christ is all about. You keep leveling up. Right?
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Like we're a video game. What is going on here?
Yeah. That's how video games work. It hits us right where we're wired.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
You heard it here, folks. So put your video game controller down and let's talk. So normally what happens on Easter, well, how should we do this? Let's slide into Easter. So today is Holy Thursday, and today's the day, like we were already talking, we remember the new commandment, and Jesus is having that talk at, what we call the Last Supper. This is the night where Jesus,
Right.
The way we say it is, this is the night he gave himself up for us. This is the night of the betrayal that led to the events, that leads to the events tomorrow. And so what we're doing to remember that is a Good Friday experience. It's a good word to put to it. That pulls in the Holy Thursday into Good Friday. And I'm expecting it to really hit me like kind of in the middle of my person. There's something about Good Friday that just...
I definitely expect to cry.
Yeah. Well, for me, that's not saying that.
Yeah. Me either. Me either.
Cry all the time.
But it's super moving.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
And it's a moment in the church's celebration, or let's just say the liturgy as we go through the text throughout the year. It's that moment that I feel like is the hardest to take in. The path and the road and the journey that Jesus had to walk through that led to the cross. And, we don't always sit in those feelings and those emotions or reflect on what truly happened. I think this is a great weekend for us to all, even as uncomfortable as it may be, to really sit with it. And there are tears. That's a good thing, right? As we reflect. And it's not, the story doesn't allot itself to sit well with us. So
yeah, right. You shouldn't be giggling and grinning through it, right? Like it's
hard.
It's hard.
Yep.
But I'm glad you said that, because I think perhaps one of the problems that sits with us, why it's hard for us to sit in the hard part of the story, is we're not meant to sit and feel guilty. It's not meant to make us feel like you did this. Can you just kind of
So
rehash
from a
what-
technical standpoint, turning a mic on,
I'm usually so
I'm going to
good
give a
with
shout
that.
out to my wife. She actually texted me right in the middle of this and said,
Karen.
hey, yeah,
Thanks. Hey.
this is what we need to do.
You know what?
I know. Rachel was texting me. I'm like, how do I interrupt them?
I know, he did so good. That was
Brian's
such a
really
great...
low.
So great. I know.
sorry.
Well, try to
glad you could do
imagine
that.
what I said. But one thing that I always felt weird about
Yeah.
is in like rock videos and concert videos, when like the lead singer would like walk up to the guitar player and then start singing into his microphone.
yeah.
I hate that.
And they're like cheek to cheek.
And they're like, I don't like seeing.
It happens all the time.
That bugs me. Don't stop doing that. Anyway, so I think, the invitation to remember Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday is not so that you feel bad.
Yeah.
Because of all that Jesus went through. It's that so we really feel grateful. I mean, it's so that we realize, that this is the work of grace transforming me. That this is not for me to remember all the horrible things I've done, that Jesus has given his life for. That's part of it, but it's not meant to elevate our guilt. It's meant to elevate our gratitude, and to set us up for it's important that we don't just, yay, Christ died for me and lives for me, and that's just great, where we really realize the cost and the benefit that just God's generous, loving heart. So that's Good Friday, and Good Saturday is we've got a reflection that is going to go out about what it means to sit with the truth that Jesus didn't just die for us, but was buried.
Right.
He was buried, and there was this whole full day where, where it looks like nothing happened, but we realize that no, something was happening even then too, while his body lay in the tomb. Which then gets us set up for Easter. And, normally what we do at our Easter worship services is we read some of the gospel texts about that actual resurrection. morning itself, which is what we're going to do at the sunrise service, 6:30 in the morning at the West Melbourne Community Park. But at the 9:30 and the 11, we're going to look at what Paul wrote decades later to the church at Corinth. And you can find it in 1 Corinthians 15. And he writes, oh, that's not it. That's 2 Samuel. Anyone got it?
Which verses would you like?
Boom, I got it. So this is 1 Corinthians 15, starting at verse 3, where he says, I passed on to you as most important what I also received. Christ died for our sins in line with the Scriptures. He was buried, and he rose on the third day in line with the Scriptures. That's the movement of this weekend heading up to Easter. And what I'm especially interested in is he says, I passed on to you as most important what I also received. And I guess that's the question I wanted to hang around with. Like, how do we do that? How do we recognize this is most important? And how do we pass it on? This is what's most important. There's so much that is so important out there. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Paul is saying you need to start ignoring your kids because Jesus is most important. That's not what it means. But what does it mean? What does it mean that this is what's most important?
Maybe making it center of your household, so your kids included in that, making Jesus center.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Spending time in Scripture as a family, praying before you go to bed, praying at dinner, talking to God, teaching our kids to talk to God.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're trying to figure out. Some of that stuff is relatively easy, like the praying parts. I'm still trying to figure out, like we've got all these kid Bibles and stuff like that, and what's really the best way to really do this with the kids, right? And even if your household doesn't have kids, there's still people in the world that just don't know, right?
Right.
And so if this is really the most important, we're also looking at, well, how do I get ready to share it with all of those people too? If this is really most important. Like, I guess I think about it this way. When I'm excited about something, people know I'm excited about something. Like I'll tell you about it. I'll nerd out on it. A lot of people have picked up on the fact that I like Star Wars.
So does Jennifer Ganley.
Yeah, big fan.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Love you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yes. Right? But it's so easy to talk about something that I'm a big fan of.
Right.
Here's a book I'm reading. Here's a song I really like. Here's new shoes that I'm excited about. Or, whatever. Right? Yeah, shoes.
I'm in.
So how do we do it where this is what's most important? And people know.
We've got to get it. I mean, for me, and maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it's you got to make, for the kids to keep, I know I keep going back to kids, but I have like 30, Everybody thinks I have so many kids. You have to make it fun. You have to, we have to be excited about it. And to be excited about it is be excited about getting closer to God, getting closer to maybe helping someone else get closer to God, just making it fun and exciting. I don't know.
I think that's part of the gift of kids in the church, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Just the idea that the kids, just their presence, their energy, the excitement. I think that's why you hear Jesus say that a lot in his ministry. Be like children. Let the children come.
Yeah.
It's just, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And we can learn from that, because as life goes on, you think, a lot of times you figure things out along the way, and then we get stuck in our ways, or we think that we don't need to learn anymore, that we know enough, that we know it all. And, we have to work really hard at fighting that kind of mentality. And I think kids bring that freshness.
Yeah.
The astonishing effect to what we believe, that they're just in awe of what
And they
God's
have
done for us.
such good questions about
Oh,
it.
such good questions.
Like, we think we know so many answers. Like, one of them hit me with a bomb just a while back. Oh, that's fitting, because it was about war. And essentially the conclusion that my 9-year-old was sitting with was, war is dumb. Well, there's a lot going on there. And I started to do that adult thing, of kind of softening the edges and all of that. But from her perspective, which is essentially, aren't we supposed to love everybody? Right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And how do we make this first in all things? Most important.
I think all aspects of family, right? We talk about the kids bringing the fun aspect to it, but I think the older generation brings the traditions to it, which making an old tradition fun, because you include the kids and the grandparents, and just making it center of everything is I know it's easy to say. It's not easy to do, but that's what we should be doing, right? Centering our lives around the fun of bringing people to Jesus.
Yeah.
Knowing the love of God, knowing that they're all welcome here. I don't know.
And that's,
I feel like I'm rambling today.
No, but that's living into, I think, what Paul is getting at is like first things first, right? Like we all have our days, we all have our ups and downs, but Paul's saying first things first is that Jesus died for you.
Yeah.
He says this is the gospel message,
Yeah.
right? And are we living that way? And and this is the hard part. This is when you get into like, or are we a stumbling block for someone to come to know the gospel? In our everyday actions, right? Like how we interact with people at Publix or the grocery stores or in a drive-through line because someone decided to not go inside and order a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And hold up the line. How do we respond? And I think, are we, I joke sometimes about, being blockers, but are we blockers of the gospel? Or are we open hand like Jesus was? He wasn't, it's this.
Yeah.
And I think we can do that through making sure that we own it, that we understand the gospel and how that applies to our life.
Man, that's
It's
a lot
tough.
to think about.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. This is a heavy Thursday. I think because Easter's coming, and I think we're also like, there's just been so much going on.
Yeah.
I also think about, kind of more simple ways of, reminding ourselves of things, and like when you're trying to learn a new habit. And I was thinking about it with like, going to the drive-in or going to the grocery store. That's such a habitual thing. I always do it this way. I always go in and I turn right and I look at this and to find a way to make the gospel the center of all of my habitual behaviors as well. Like I am shopping. I'm going through the BOGOs with Jesus. Like somehow, right? Like somehow the gospel is living in me as I'm doing the self-scan thing that's so fun, right? Or if I do have a problem, like I need some help, I can't find these special olives, and so that Jesus is with me as I'm talking to the little dude there in the olive section. I guess there's an olive section, right?
I'm not sure that there's an olive section.
Maybe there is.
I'm going to look for the party at the self-checkout
Yeah.
next time I go to
Yeah,
Publix.
yeah. We giving out olives, like, I love you. That's it right there.
That's evangelism.
That's it, right? That's
101.
evangelism. Write that down, friends.
Yep.
It's olive evangelism.
Oh my goodness. I'm
So-
so happy to be back with you guys.
I know. See what you've missed
love
the last
you.
couple weeks?
Oh
That could
goodness.
really work. I love you.
Karen made a comment here. The older generation brings wisdom and encouragement too, and
Yeah.
and that's scriptural, right? Like, we need the wisdom, and wisdom is gained by experience and knowledge. And what a gift! what a gift to be able to pass on to future generations and younger generations coming up behind
Right,
you.
for them to say, this is what it looks like. This is
Yeah.
what it's looked like for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lessons learned along the way.
I think about when I was much younger, I was thinking about an uncle of mine. Actually, it's my grandmother's brother who had the farm and everything like that. And he taught me the hard lesson of never leaving your rake. Points up.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
using that as an example. That's what made me think of it, because the one time he let me do it, I stepped right on it, and that thing came and smacked me. And he's just like, don't do that.
No.
Right, lesson learned.
Like, why would you do that? Like, and it really bothered him that I would even consider, like, why would you do that?
Right.
But that's that wisdom where you just learn from experience. And I know that's a silly example, but there's things in life that what a blessing to have someone in front of you just help guiding you and help
Yeah.
directing you. As Karen said, wisdom, but encouragement.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do this.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, the challenge is in our stage of life is how are we reaching behind us, right? So we're doing this multi-generational journey through life together.
Right.
Yeah, my Uncle Frank gave me my grandmother's Bible that she got when she was 7, and was still using it apparently when she was 40. When she was 40, or was it 40? I forget now exactly, but in her 40s, because I found in there a folded piece of paper where she was writing down basically prayers. And it was, you know, should I go to the Methodist camp this summer? Who will watch the kids? You know, I mean, she's got, my dad was already a teenager at the time. I mean, she's got responsibilities, and to see it written down and then scratched out because there was a no there, you know, and one of them was, should my dad go on this particular trip that he went on? And I know he went on it. Like, he tells all kinds of stories about it. And to see that his mom was praying whether
For the
God
answer.
wanted him to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, and to me, it's such and I never got to meet her, but it's such a beautiful, it's what Karen's inviting us to talk about, such a beautiful example of, here's a woman who lived it, at least when it came to her prayers. I mean, how often do we just like, man, I've just got to figure this out. I've just got to decide this, do my pros and cons, talk to people, you know, and I'm not saying she didn't do that. I don't know, but she also had it in her Bible. She prayed over this, and then yes or no, yes or no, and there's a bunch of stuff that there wasn't an answer yet.
Right.
You know, like,
I think that's really cool because, I mean, she slowed down and
Yes.
spent time when I feel like, at least for me, I'm always going and trying to figure things out. Instead, how different would it be if I stopped and said, before I made a decision and like prayed about it, you
Yeah.
know? That's a cool idea. I mean, I it's not like something I didn't know to do, but to sit back and like reflect on that, like, oh, I should do that.
right, and a lot of it is just like that. It's stuff we already know, but having someone with the longer view that's done it more than us helps us to remember it better, right, or to take it on more seriously.
And I think this comes back to what your comment was about being the parent and modeling and all that stuff. I'm wondering if your dad ever saw his mom, like in that moment. Like,
I haven't asked him yet, right?
did
Just
he
found
ever
this.
stumble across it and be like,
Right.
to realize that his every step journey was being prayed over?
Prayed over, yeah.
What kind of impact that would have on him, or
know.
you know, if he had that experience. But I'm wondering,
Right.
you know, this is why it's important to be, you know, to recognize there's kids, and like if you do have kids at home, they're watching, they're impressionable, and you know, how are you praying? How are you
true.
interacting? How are you living out the gospel, even at home?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, you know, we were talking about these practices like praying and just the way that, especially like before a big decision, just stop to pray about it, and how do we talk to our kids and all this, and you know, Paul's writing here is not a how-to for all of that. It's that we get to do all that because what's most important is Christ died, and so I think part of the invitation here is like trying to talk to our kids, to hold on to. Christ died for my kids. They've got to know that. It'll change their life. You know, when we're learning from, you know, our seniors, our elders, to realize that Christ died for them. Christ died for, you know, to hold on to that. The person at the drive-thru that's ordering for the whole office, Christ died for her. How do I hold on to that? You know, and how does that inform me?
Or the whole youth group.
Or the whole youth group.
Oops.
Oh my goodness.
That was a lot of fun. I did go inside, for the record.
Well done,
Oh,
sir.
I
okay,
did not
good,
go
good,
Well
through
done.
good job.
Yeah.
And I did call ahead.
and warn them that I was coming.
Yeah, yeah, they were ready. They were ready. You know, so that's what we're looking at for this weekend. Not just to go through this is our holiday thing.
Yeah.
We're doing some new things, but also some things that we've done for ages and generations. But it's to remind us of that this is what's most important. You know, when I'm angry with someone, Christ died for us.
Yeah.
When I'm excited about my new shoes, Christ died for us. I mean, and it doesn't mean like my shoes don't matter, but it helps me. And so these awesome shoes are going to help me live out Christ's life. I mean, I don't know, but something like that,
I mean, they
right?
help me get to the next person.
Get to the
and
next person. What is
talk
it?
to
How
them.
beautiful are the shoes that bring good news, right? Shoes are scriptural, man. So go ahead and check out the update that we've got to make sure that you're able to make your plan and experience as much of this walk, this journey that we'll be taking together. So that we'll see this. We'll see how this truly is the most important. It guides everything. It changes everything. And that's why we're together right now. So thanks for being with us. We pray blessing on you wherever you're going next. And we will see you really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully see you out there for Easter.
Yeah.
So
See you for Easter and everything else too. I want you to come to
so
everything.
excited.
Yes, Good Friday. Come to Good Friday, too.
All right. God bless you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.